And we are live. Hey guys, welcome to another session we're having today. We've got a really good hour that we're going to fill this in with. And I wanted to, first of all, find out if everyone can actually hear me and see me. If you can, would you please just respond and say, yes, you can hear me? That'd be really cool of you. I'm just going to wait for someone to respond because I don't want to do what I did the last time and find out I was talking for 15 minutes and nothing was actually happening. So if you guys can hear me or see me, can you just tell me yes, and then I can get going? That'd be really great. Okay, no one's responding yet. Hope everyone's well today. I also need to let you know that it's just going to be me today. I know the title said two South Africans revealed a startup plan. Unfortunately, Steve could not make it. He's having a little bit of issues with the power at his place, and the power tripped like 7 or 8 times, and now his router's going to be in a better place. All right, so I think he's got to replace it. We'll get a new one. So cool, thanks, man. Really appreciate it. So yes, Stephen won't be joining us today, but hopefully we'll be able to get him on soon sometime. Yes, what I've got planned for you today is really something that I believe everyone could use, whether you're been in internet marketing for a while or you're absolutely brand new. I'm going to be covering 15 steps to actually get you going from beginning. I'm going to talk as if I have never been online before. I'm going to speak as if, or even not that I've never been online before. I'm going to talk as if suddenly tomorrow I had like zero. There was absolutely nothing. I was wiped clean and I wanted to start fresh. I'm going to be talking to you about that and how you would actually get going. I'm calling it the South African Plan, or SAM for short, because the way that I'm going to be teaching you this is very, very basic. All right, so you don't need to be a part of any elaborate plan or have any those paid services like even do Craigslist or anything like that. I'm going to be leaving that all out of it. I'm going to be doing stuff that everybody can do, stuff that I can do, and hopefully everybody watching this can do. So that's what I'm going to be covering today. I want to also thank all of you guys who have helped me and supported me. I really do appreciate it. Wade, I know you're doing a great job, and you're just carrying on, brother. I know that Declan is starting to make big moves in his business, and I also want to give a shout out to a buddy of mine. His name is Sean Ritson. He's a fellow South African, a good friend of mine, and he's also wanting to get into this industry because he's obviously starting to see results. So, Sean, if you're watching this, hello, man. I also want to congratulate those of you out there who are being consistent and taking action and doing the training and going through everything. It's very important, and I'm going to be covering a lot of that today. I don't know how long I'm actually going to go on for, but you never know what's going to come up. So that's how I'm going to be taking this particular webinar. So I've written down a few points. If I glance to the left or my left, just know that I'm looking at some notes that I jotted down in case I left things out. I said 15 points. I've got 15 things over here that I want to share with you, and I'm going to be talking about that right now. All right, so hopefully you've come to this webinar because somebody has invited you, or you're actually on my team, or you're on somebody else's team. It really does not matter if somebody else brought you to this page. That's a great thing. We're all here to help each other, and that's what this whole thing is about. All right, we're like a family. I consider a lot of the people that I work with family because I chat to them all the time, and we help each other in a lot of ways. This is a great community that you can actually talk to and get response from. If you're struggling with something, the only way you're going to get an answer is to ask, right? So for those of you watching this hangout, I want to encourage you to please interact in the comments. It shows us that you are actually serious about this. It's also going to do something for you because it's going to help you actually get involved. And when you start to get involved, that's when things start to happen. All right, so I'm going to get into this. I'm going to be talking about the main points. And the first one of this, what do I do to get, starting from scratch? What is it that you need to actually get going from the beginning? And the first one, I believe, is the most important, and this is the first point. All right, you need to have a clear intention on what you want to accomplish. All right, so you have to, as we always say, have your biggest why. All right, why do you want to do this? All right, so some of you watching this may be thinking, well, I want to make money. That isn't good enough. You cannot say to yourself, I just want to make some money, because that isn't going to get you anywhere. You need to be absolutely clear about what you want to do. If you were to ask me 2 years ago, or even now, what is it I want to do? Because I've got a 5-year plan. I've gone through the first year since I started to really have success in this business. But my clear intention is that I actually want to start a youth center where I want to teach kids how to actually enable themselves to be to function in a world where actual physical jobs are becoming harder to get. So I want to teach teenagers and young adults to be independent and to be able to actually create a business online. That is what my intention is. I'm very clear about that. That's where I want to head. That's where I want to go. And you need to be absolutely clear. And what I can suggest you do is you take a moment of your day to sit down and actually write out in the now, like you're actually experiencing it. I want you to write down exactly what it is you want to be. So you're writing this down as if you've accomplished it. All right. This does a few things. When you have a clear intention, your brain switches on. There's something that happens when you start writing things down, and don't go typing it on a computer, unless you absolutely can't do that. You can't write. But write down. When you start to write things down, that's when things start to change. I remember listening to Tony Robbins' story about when he got started. He spoke about the first time he decided to make a big change in his life. He was overweight, he was in debt, he was living in an apartment, washing his dishes inside the bathtub and all of that stuff. And what he did was he ran on the beach, got absolutely mad, and just ran on the beach as fast as he could. And he sat down and he wrote down all the things he wanted to accomplish. And he was dead specific about what he wanted to do. And if you take note of all the people that are successful in life, they will tell you the same thing. Have a clear intention. Some people actually do this and become successful without really having to go through that phase, because they visualize it before they even start. Some people are very natural at doing that. But to be successful, you need to have a clear intention about where you want to be. And so you need to do that. If you haven't done that yet, I want you to take a moment and write that down. As soon as, when this ends, I want you to start that. Write down a clear intention of where you want to be, and make it as visual, and describe everything, to the color, to the way it feels, everything, so that you can actually experience that in the now. All right, that's how I want you to take this. All right, that is the first thing you need to do when you get started in a business. All right, online. All right, the second thing you need to do, in my view, is you need to brand yourself. All right, so you need to come up with a brand, something that you will be recognized by. All right, so I know Wade has got his as the Freedom Marketer. That's what he wants to be called. That's what he wants to be known for, because this opportunity that we've got, guys, gives us the freedom to do what we want. And money doesn't solve everything, but it does provide you with opportunities. And that's what Wade has decided to do. You've got Jeff and Johnny, the relationship guys. They've branded themselves. I've branded myself as the 24-hour marketer. I've got 24-hour marketing strategies. That is my brand. So in other words, I have this brand that says, these marketing strategies that I use work 24 hours a day. It also is quite funny, the fact that I'm always up most of the time. And, but that's just the way it goes. And that took me a while to come up with, but it is a good idea to come up with something that is you, something that reflects you. And the 24-hour marketer, I'm always up most of the time. So that definitely is me. And it just works in with what I do. So you need to come up with a brand to brand yourself. That's the second thing you've got to do. All right. Very, very important. All right. The third thing you want to do, and I'm going to tell you this because it's going to save you a lot of time. It's going to save you a lot of heartache. You can start out from the beginning if you want to. You can go ahead and get yourself a free blog. You can go ahead and work out WordPress. It'll take you months and months to work it out. You can go ahead and do all that stuff. The third thing I want you to do is I want you to get into Empower Network. All right. Now, you might be saying that, isn't that, I've got to spend money to do that. And that is absolutely true. You're starting a business. This isn't a hobby. This is an actual business that you're going to be doing. And Empower Network gives you so much in the form of getting you started. All right. You don't need to work out how to start a blog. You don't need to work out all of that stuff. Everything is done for you. All right. It's really, really simple. And inside the Empower Network, they have what they call the 8 core steps. All right. These 8 core steps are imperative to your growth. All right. You need to go through that. All right. They've got 8 cores that you go through. And if you work at that every day, you're going to see success. So many people who have not found any success online haven't gone through these things diligently. And you'll actually see them when you get into the system. Or if you're in it now, you know what I'm talking about. So you need to get into Empower Network that will actually give you a blog to start out with. Right? Having a blog is really important. And the reason I say that you should start out with that is because when you start out, if you're just starting out new, you don't just have to learn about getting a blog sorted out or getting a blog set up and running, but there's endless frustration with getting things set up, having your banners just right, not knowing where to put all your advertising, learning about SEO, learning about all the tags, learning about all of that stuff. The great thing about Empower Network is that all of that stuff is provided for you, and it gives you a platform to start out with. All right, you'll actually have something where you can go and say, right, I have a business in front of me that I can use. All I need now is to utilize it, and that's all you need to do. You don't have to worry about the setup or anything like that. All the instructions that you need to have is in that system. Very important. So that is important, right? So what I'm going to suggest to you is to go through the 8 core training, and I want you to get in, and I also want you to get all in. Now, when I say all in, I'm not necessarily saying that you have to buy all the products straight away, but you need to get all in emotionally, all right? You need to be able to do that. When I say emotionally, I mean you want to get into the point of saying, I'm going to make this my business. I'm going to make this work, all right? If you want to, you can go ahead and you can start out, carrying on working for somebody else where you'll get paid the same check every single month. You can go ahead and do that if you want to, or you can go ahead and start your own business. Right now, you can go ahead and start an offline business, brick and mortar business, and go ahead and source all the material, pay all the rent, get all the electricity, all of that stuff, pay for everything every single month, where you'll be forking out that cash and have extreme overheads. Or you can go ahead and use this simple system where your overheads are minimal, and believe me, they are minimal. All right, it's very expensive starting a business offline. Having one online actually does work, and they have all the training inside for you. After you got yourself set up, what I want you to do is I want you to go through training inside the Empower Network and do like 30 minutes a day. All right, do 30 minutes a day at least, so your brain can take this all in. All right, so the 4th step that you want to do is you want to set up a good autoresponder. Now, Empower Network provides you with 2 options. You can go ahead and get GetResponse, or you can go ahead and get Aweber. Aweber is and GetResponse pretty much the same thing. I know that Aweber for a while didn't have a free option to try it out for a month for free, but now they do. They give you an option to try it for free. But the point is you need to have an autoresponder. All right. And the reason you need an autoresponder is because you want to automate your business. All right. So when somebody joins your business, you've got something that will send out an email automatically to them. All right. It's going to save you a lot of time and a lot of heartache. You can go ahead and send them out physically if you want to, but it's going to take a lot of time out of your day, and you don't want to do that. So that's another thing that will happen when you actually get to the Empower Network. So make sure that you set up an autoresponder. All right. Now, with an autoresponder, you're going to have to get what they call follow-up emails inside an autoresponder. All right. Now, the follow-up emails are basically when somebody opts into your list. In other words, when somebody goes to your capture page that you've given from Empower Network, they will put in their email address and they'll click submit to see what the business is about. All right. What your follow-up list is going to do is it's going to send you follow-up emails. So you need to set that up. All right. You need to have some emails that will go out for you. Now, you don't have to set this up on your own. They have got pre-written emails in Empower Network for you, so you can go ahead and copy what they have. But I would suggest that you want to make it your own. All right. If you make it your own, it's you. You are actually telling people about who you are. All right. It's a good thing to go through what they've got so you can see what they're using, but then you add a little bit to it. You make it your own little email autoresponder. That way it's unique, and you'll be the only one sending out that particular email. So I would highly suggest you do that. So you get what they call as your leads follow-up email, and then you're going to have buyers follow-up email. Now, your buyers follow-up email is going to be a little different because those are the people that have actually bought the system, and for that you want to have follow-up emails for them. So you want to make sure that in that follow-up sequence you keep them, you want to keep reminding them to finish the steps. All right, so you welcome them, then you send another email that says you've got to finish those steps, and you remind them what they need to do. All right, because those steps are very important. Inside Empower Network, they have what they call as a follow-up sequence. And they've got step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, I think. And it's very important those emails remind your listeners or remind your customers to go ahead and to follow those steps. And you also want to send out emails as well that you want to give them some tips. You want to give them perhaps a story that you learned, perhaps a teaching that you know about. Share with them a hangout that you learned. That's important. All right, so you want to pay careful attention to that, and you can go ahead and sort that out. But as I said, once you actually get into the Empower Network business and you go through the training, all of what I've said is going to make a lot more sense. All right, there are some details that I've left out, but once you actually get in the system, you'll see exactly what I mean. It's just a case of, paint by numbers, fill in what you need, and you can get going with your business. All right. So that was the fourth. I think that was the fourth one. The fifth one is open up a Facebook account. All right. You want to open up a Facebook account and make sure that you have a fan page or business page and fill in your profile. Go ahead and tell people about you. Don't just sell to them. You want to tell people what you are about. Tell them your likes, your dislikes, your hobbies, what you enjoy in life, and then you can tell them a bit about the business. But don't make it so pitchy. Just tell people about who you are, because at the end of the day, when people find you on Facebook, that's where they're going to be looking at. They're going to be looking in the about section, right? Even though you might have a small profile, try and make it as detailed as possible. That's also something I have to work on. But I actually learned that from a lady named Katie Townsend. And if you took a look at Katie's profile, it was so detailed. I mean, she wrote like paragraphs after paragraph about what she was about. And take time doing this, because your Facebook account, people are going to be looking at that and check what you are about. And when they see what you're about, that's when you're going to be sharing with people who you are so they can know more about you. All right, so open up a Facebook account. All right. Next thing you want to do is open up a YouTube account. And that's very important. And you want to open up several of those. All right. So you want to open up a few YouTube accounts. Don't just have one. Make sure that you have a couple. All right. So you want to have, I've got like 20 accounts or something like that. But make sure you have a few of them. See if you can get like 5 and get some phone numbers. If you don't know how to get phone numbers, you can go ahead and you can actually buy numbers online, or you can just borrow your friend's cell phone or do whatever it is you need to do, but get those YouTube accounts. And the other thing you want to do is make sure that your YouTube accounts are connected to your Google Plus pages. Very important. The reason why you need to make sure of that is because if for some reason in the future your YouTube channel gets suspended, you can go ahead and get it back. All right. If you don't have it connected to that Google Plus page account, you're not going to get that account back. Make sure that that is connected. Very important. All right. The next thing you want to do is you want to open up a Twitter account. All right. Get a Twitter account as well. That's what I've got. That's what a lot of people have. Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. The next step, what you want to do is you want to set up a domain name with your brand. All right. Make sure that you have a domain name that speaks about who you are. So I've got the 24hourmarketer.com. All right, that's mine. All right, so a lot of people have their brand. I know that Brian Maynard is one is tailoredentrepreneur.com or tailored.com, but basically that's his brand, Tailored Entrepreneur. That's who he is, and that's another way that people can find you, and it's all about branding yourself. So you want to set up a few of those. All right, you want to have a couple of domain names. When I say domain names, what I mean by that is go to GoDaddy and buy a domain. All right, so you want to get yourdomain.com. All right, and get a few of those. Have like 4 or 5 of them. All right, and the reason why I have about 4 or 5 of them is because you're going to need one for your capture page, and you might have 2 or 3 capture pages that you want to use them for, and also for your actual blog. All right, so go ahead and get a couple of those. All right. And what you're going to be doing with that domain name is you're going to be connected to a capture page, which is in the Empower Network system. All right. That's all there. All your capture pages are set up for you. But when you actually have a domain name, like I've got one called takeopportunities.com, if you clicked on that, it would take you straight to a business which you could be part of, and you put in an email address. So you want to have that. All right. So the next step is this. Now, this is what I'm going to tell you to do. And this is what kind of I did when I really started getting going. And it took me 8 to 10 months to work out this particular thing that I'm going to be telling you. But you need to do this every single day. All right. This is the kind of plan that I would suggest you do. All right. So you start off each day, get up very early. All right. My situation is a little bit different because I work with a lot of people overseas. So I start my day from about 9 o'clock in the evening, and I work around the clock till about 6 o'clock in the morning. You don't need to do that. Just so you know, you don't need to do that. That is my choice. If I wanted to, I could do this business for 2 hours a day. And I actually did that for a long, long time. I worked at 2 hours a day. And what you want to do is you want to get up early. Now, if you're somebody that has a busy schedule, I know of people that have big families where they'll probably get up at about 3 in the morning. They'll go to bed early, wake up at 3 in the morning, and then work. Maybe you want to do is work from 9 until 12, or you want to work from 9 until 11, work for 2 hours. Find a time during the day that you can actually work for 2 hours. It's very important to clear that schedule. Some people it's going to be late at night. Some people it'll be in the afternoon. And some people it'll be in the morning. So find some time to work. All right. After you've done that, you want to go ahead and listen to an inner circle or some training. All right. I don't listen to an inner circle every day. Sometimes I listen to training that I find, or that's in part of the Empower Network. There's so much material in there. I make sure that I listen to something at least once a day. I make sure I listen to that. And the reason you have to listen to that is it's going to help you in your thinking. All right. So get up early and listen to an inner circle, right? You want to get your mindset right. When you start out in business online, it's very hard to stay, to work at this consistently every day. But the more you listen to those inner circles, and the more you listen to people who are six and seven figure earners, they are the people that will help you starting to think straight, all right? And it's very, very important. All of the people that are actively making money online are people that I see are actually doing this. They're listening to inner circles. And it may seem like it doesn't work, but believe me, it does. It's the same as if you go to gym. If you go to gym and you work out 3 times a week and then you never go for the rest of the month, nothing's going to happen. Right? You're not going to see a change straight away. You're going to see a change over time. But the more you listen to this, the more it's going to help you develop your, as Ryan says, your business muscles. You're going to actually work those and flex those and get better at it. And this way, you'll be able to recognize good opportunities. You'll get a huge amount of training, and it's going to help you in your business every day. All right? Believe me, this works. I've been doing it, and so many people have. Stephen, the guy that was going to come on to this hangout, actually said to me, well, actually, when he started out, he did exactly what I'm telling you right now. And he's always listening to inner circles. He's always listening to training. Whenever I contact him, he's always saying, oh, he's just finished something, or he'll show me something he learned, or we exchange ideas all the time. Very important. And that's what he did. And that is how he actually just boosted himself up so much, because of what he did in those steps. All right. He works at a certain time as well. And he makes time to listen to inner circles and to go ahead and go to the training, which is the other point. So start early, listen to an inner circle, go through training, as I said, 30 minutes a day. Remind yourself of your intention. All right. Sometimes you might feel depressed. You might feel, why am I doing this? Nothing's working. Remind yourself of your intention and why you're doing this. Put it up on the wall so you see it every day. And so you're reminded about it constantly. That is important. And then, of course, the main thing, and that is to start doing YouTube product reviews. Now, a lot of you listening to me are saying, yeah, Dave, but I thought this was about the blog. And yes, it is about the blog. All right. I am talking about the blog, but I'm talking about you getting started and getting started quickly, because this is definitely going to help you. All right. So if you don't know where to get training on that, you can go to onlineNetBrands.com/members. Go to that website, open up an account. You might have an issue with the password, but if you can't get the password, just go back and say, forgot password, and it'll be emailed to you. But make sure you open up an account and start that training. In that training, I'm going to be showing you, well, I will show you, because I take you through the training myself, on how to do product reviews. Right now, whether you're doing Empower Network, whether you're doing iPass, whether you're doing whatever business you're doing, the same principle applies in that training. The whole idea is that you want to go ahead and do product reviews. All right. And I have a very specific method of doing this. All right. With the binary options, you look at the binary options that are coming out every day from clickshow.com. Go ahead, watch that sales video, understand what it's all about. Remember that binary option trading can only be done successfully if you're doing it physically and manually. All of these binary option programs that come out, most of them are using automated bots. Basically, they don't work. I know this because I've been in the trading industry, and it's just a cheap shortcut to getting a little bit of win. And the main win of those programs is people are getting paid. The affiliates are getting paid, not the actual people using the programs. You can never consistently get a win on those programs. It just doesn't work. All right. The market has to be watched from everywhere, not just online, but whatever is happening outside the world. All right. It's a very good strategy, and it does work. So you want to do a review on that by telling people what I've just told you, and it's all in that training. go ahead and do that review. And at the end of the video, you give them some options. All right. You give them an option. You say, look, if you want to get into trading and you hell bent on getting in there, what I can suggest you do is go to your financial advisor, speak to your bank, look for somebody offline so you can physically see them, so they can actually teach you and mentor you on how to trade. That's the one option. All right. The other option is I've got a system that will help you make money online. And that's ultimately, and you can go ahead and then after that, give them the opportunity that you have. All right. And that's what you do. It's as simple as that. I can't be more elaborate. All the training is in there. And I would suggest you do 4 to 6 videos a day. All right, now, listen to me when I say this. When I first got told to make videos, I was told to do about 4 to 6 videos a day. What I did, I multiplied that by 2. So I was saying, I'm going to do 6 to 8 videos a day. That's what I said. All right. And I was going to do that. So I made sure that I would get those out every single day. Now you might be saying, gee, Dave, doesn't it take a long time to make a video? You know what? When you understand what to do, you can bust out a video in 5, 6, 7 minutes. You can. And with the internet speeds a lot of you have, you've got a far more greater advantage. It takes me 20 to 25 minutes to upload a video on YouTube for me. All right. And if it's a longer video, it can take 30 minutes, 40 minutes. We have terrible internet connections over here. So for me, making a video literally takes me 40 minutes to actually from beginning to end from uploading. All right. And I was determined to make 6 to 8 videos a day. That's how determined I was. So if you have a faster internet connection, you really don't have any excuse. All right. Somebody once joked in this country that it would be cheaper for me to fly to Hong Kong, all right, go to Hong Kong, go into a internet cafe, download 100 gig of data onto disks, burn it onto disks, take a flight back to South Africa. It would be cheaper to do that than it would be to download it from where I am right now, all right? And that's how crazy it is. Our internet speeds have only improved a slight more. We are slightly better, but we're still incredibly slow. The fastest, I got a really good connection right here, and I got a 6 meg connection. A lot of you out there have 30, 50 megabit connections, which is insane for me. I can't even imagine. I'd be in absolute heaven if I had that. So I want you to try your best to go and do 4 to 6 videos a day. And for those of you watching, you know, Jake Jervis, the reason why he did so well so quickly is because that's what he did. He did like 6 to 8 videos a day. All right. He would just bust them out every day. And that's why he got really good results. And you've got to find time to do that. All right. Whether it's from 2 to 4 in the morning, whether it's from 5 to 7 in the morning, or from 9 to 11 in the morning, you've got to find time to do that. And yes, it's going to be a process. If you've never done this before, it's going to take you longer. But I'm telling you right now, and Wade, if you're on this call, if you can just back me up here, when you actually get to know the process, you can churn these things out very, very quickly. All right. And that is the key. That is the key to actually getting results. It's that simple, guys. There's no other way to get faster results than that, as far as I can see, other than paid advertising, of which you've really got to know what you're doing. And that only gets taught in the 15K formula. But other than that, making videos is the quickest way you're going to get results, and it converts really, really quickly. All right. So that's what I want you to do. All right. So I hope you've taken that down. I hope you've taken notes on that. And do this every day, guys. Don't stop and be consistent. All right. And I don't care how bad your day is getting. Sometimes it gets really, really bad. And that's why we are here for each other. That's why we have the Facebook marketing group. You want to be able to talk to people, maybe connect with them one-on-one. Find somebody in the group that you can relate to. Have a chat with them on Skype. Figure out how to do this. Get ideas from people. All right. My good friend, Chris Pies, that guy, man, he just goes for it, man. He tries absolutely everything he can until he gets it done. And you know, Chris is an example of somebody who just carries on, all right, and he just does it, you know, and he does every possible thing he can do to actually get it done. And you know, I was, because Chris is in my team, and you know, he was forever pushing the idea away about binary options because he didn't really understand it. But once I explained it to him, and once he actually did the research, he saw how easy it was to do, and he got really good results with that. Now, please, guys, take this advice from me. Go through that training, all right? A lot of you out there aren't doing it. And as simple as that, if you want to get a head up in this game, go and do that. That is the quickest way you're going to get results. Enough about that. Anyway, all right, so then what I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and start the blogging challenge, all right? Once you're in Empower Network all set up, I want you to start the Empower Network blogging challenge, all right? Now, it's not complicated at all. It's very, very simple. In fact, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you how simple it is actually. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Let's see if I can share it. There we go. You should be able to see this. So I'm just going to go ahead and open this up. All right, cool. All right, so I'm going to show you something here. I just did this blog. I did this blog a little bit a while ago. I did this actually on the 19th. Yeah, I did this today actually. And this was one of the tutorials that I did. And it says, I've got here 7 outrageously funny historical videos. And you can see my blog, all right? It's all over the place. I've got stuff here. I've got stuff down here. It's all set up for me. I didn't have to do any of that. I just filled in a couple of things. I started and that was it. And I've got 7 of the funniest videos I've ever seen right over here. Let me get a chance to see this one. This is hilarious, the vacancy. But basically, what you would do, let me see if I can find the actual blog. It's not this one. It's not this one. Sorry, I'm just trying to find it. Where the heck is it? Give me a second, guys. There it is. All right. So this is it. You set up your blog, and now you see I'm on day 15. All right. Now, basically, you would just click on a new post. It's going to do a bit of thinking because my internet. All right, there we go. And it's going to say add new post. And what's going to happen is you're going to get this window that pops up. There it is. And you're doing this section on hacks. With this template, you can share hacks or tips or discovering that will help your reader achieve a specific goal or outcome, and check the sites listed below. So it's actually giving you sites to go ahead and check what you need to do. Then all you would do is you go ahead and just fill in the information. As you fill in the information over here, you'll get more chance to fill in a picture, and then you'll go, once you fill in the picture, it's going to give you more options. But basically, you go ahead and fill this out, and at the end of the day, you'll just click create post, and your post is done. And that's what you would do. You would just go ahead and do that. It's as simple as that. The blog is set up for you, ready to go, and you don't need to do anything else. All right, so that's what I would suggest you do. Once you've actually gone ahead and you're doing the blogging challenge, the next thing you want to do is very important. This is the next step. Is you want to go ahead and you want to go to pingmyurl.com right over here. You want to take your actual blog post, and all you need to do really is, just for simplicity's sake, take that URL over here, copy it, and then go to ping my URL. And as you can see, I've actually pasted it in here because I've done this already, and you will just hit submit. And when you hit submit, what's going to happen is it's going to connect your blog with all the search engines all over the world. That's what it's going to do. So you can see your link has been added to 1,000 times. And that's important because it's going to help your site be recognized and seen that, oh, okay, he actually did another post. So you're going to add this person to the actual search engine index, so you'll be found easily online. That's what you want to do. All right. So let me get back to my actual page so you can see me. All right. So very important. So once you've pinged your blog, the next step you want to do is you want to go ahead and syndicate your blog, meaning you want to share your blog everywhere. All right. And what you want to do is to syndicate your blog is after every post, you do this after every single post you do. All right. You send your blog out to your email list. Very important. All right. Send your posts out to groups. All right. That's also important. And then you want to go ahead and share it on Twitter as well. You basically want to go ahead and share your post that you wrote out to as many people as possible. And you do this every single day. And now, when I spoke about the fact that you're doing things with YouTube to help you get the sales, that's great, and it works really quickly. But the reason you want to start doing this is because a blog post is potentially it's a gold mine of commissions that you're going to get later on. You see, the way a blog post works and the way a good blog actually does work, one that's SEO friendly, which Kalatu is, the way it works is when you start posting on a regular basis, Google notices that. They're getting a lot more clever. In other words, you can't just go and spam things on your blog. You need to intelligently write stuff. And the more you write stuff on your blog, the more Google recognizes that you're active. And the more active you are, that tells Google that you're part of a community and you're contributing to the web. So that's going to do a couple of things for you. It's going to push your website to the front pages of Google, all right? It's going to push your website, and that goes for all search engines. It pushes you to the front page so that your post will be found. And what's going to happen over time, over weeks and months, is the more content you add every day, the better your blog is going to rank, which means that if you get thousands and thousands of people to your blog over time, those commissions are going to come in more and more and more, to the point where you can actually leave your blog for a while and you'll just keep on getting those commissions. So that's why it's important to get going with a blog. And you guys saw Pat that was on our hangout a few weeks ago. Pat was saying that he started out blogging for a while, and he was doing it for a while, for a couple of months, but he wasn't really paying attention. And then after about 3 or 4 months into it, he was told that he was being an idiot because he wasn't blogging, because he never really took it seriously. And he started out with the 21-day blogging challenge. And because of all of that stuff that he had done, his blog got ranked so well that he actually had 26 conversions in 1 month with the 21-day blogging challenge. And he is getting a crazy amount of commissions from that. And you know what? He will just keep on getting those commissions all the time. That is the power of a blog. If you have a blog going for a few years and you do it right, with the right type of sales videos and capture pages and everything in that, it's a gold mine. And that is why I'm working so hard at this, because I know it works, and it works really well. In the month and a half that I've been blogging, I've received, I think it's 14 sales or something like that. All right. And I'm just blogging every single day, whether I get sales or not. I'm just blogging every single day. And that is the point. You got to make this part of your ritual. You cannot do this as a hobby. All right, so that is very important. The next thing you want to do is you want to share the Hangouts on your list. All right. So we have a Hangout right now. You've got a link to it. You've got your ID on it. All right. Go ahead. If you haven't got an ID or anything like that, get into the system below. Click on that button and get started, and get those links to this Hangout. So you can take this Hangout that we're on right now and you can send it out to your list. All right. The reason you want to do that is you want to start telling people about making money online. You want to give them this information I'm giving you, because this stuff that's going to help people make their decision to join or not. All right. That is what you want to do. All right. Please listen to what I'm saying. if you haven't sent this link out to your list, all right, you need to start doing that to make things happen. All right, so the other thing that you need to do, and I think this is the second to last step, you need to start your own group, your own Facebook group. So you need to, and here's how you do it. Just to give you a bit of history, I'm a part of a group called Online Profits for Newbies with Ryan. That's Ryan's group. And Ryan, oh man, he's got so many people in that group, it's unreal. Now that group is very active, a lot of people in it. But I wanted to start building my brand a bit better. So I started out with 24-Hour Marketing Mastermind group. That's my group. And I did that independently of Ryan. I started that group, and the way that I built that group from scratch, having one person in that group, is I sent that out to my list. I got hold of people that were in my team, and I built up my list that way. That is how you get it going. You don't go ahead and, you know, ask if somebody can send all your members to your group. It isn't going to work like that, all right, for a number of reasons. One, I mean, for Pete's sake, they don't even know you, so why would they join you in anyway? But if somebody is on your list, you have a bit more personal relationship, and especially if that group's going to help people. So whatever your brand is, start a group with that name and invite people from your list to that group. That way you can develop a community that's in your team, all right? That's how I initially started out my group. I know I've got a lot of people that aren't in my team in my group, but that's because I want to help people, and I just want them to have somewhere where they can help and teach people. So get a group going, invite people from your list to the group. Doesn't matter if you've got 5 people in the group. You know, Patterson just only started his group now, and I think he's got like 10 or 12 members or something like that, and he's starting from the very bottom. All right, so you want to get a group going. That way people can interact, you can interact, and when people want to join your team, you send them to the group, because that way everybody can help each other, and you're not inundated with calls all the time, you know, saying, you know, asking you questions about everything. The way you answer questions, and this comes to my next point, is start a hangout. And I know that we've covered this before, but it's very important for you to start an actual hangout. Having a hangout does a couple of things. One, it answers a lot of people's questions. When you have a hangout every single week, because you're learning throughout the week, you're never going to run out of material. I never run out of material, ever. Sometimes I'll be halfway through the week and, you know, I haven't actually physically prepared anything. But when I get to the end of the week, I've got stuff that I've learned because of all this training that I've been through that I want to teach with you guys. And having a hangout also starts to build your credibility up as a person. When people see you online every week, they know that you're taking this serious. You know, they're not like never, you know, it's not like you're having a hangout once a month. You know, look at the relationship guys. They're having a hangout every single week because they understand the importance of it. So even if you have a hangout and it's just that you introduce yourself, tell people where you come from, and that's great. And you know what? You don't have to have the biggest check. You don't have to have the biggest list. You don't have to have anything of that. Do you know that 98% of people on the internet cannot even generate 5 leads? They cannot do it. For you to have generated 5 leads is incredible to some other people. So even if you go ahead, you make a hangout about how I generated 3 leads, how I generated 5 leads, people want to know that. That's why you make hangouts. And that's how you build up credibility. The moment you have an accomplishment online, you want to tell people about it. That's why people follow you. And interestingly enough, I've been posting my results on my Facebook page. And a friend of mine, as I said, Sean Ritson, who's watching this, hopefully, you know, all the recording, he has seen my results. He has seen what I've produced. And because of that, his interest is starting to peak. I told them about this business. I think it was 2 years ago. But like everybody, you hear of a new deal coming out and you push it away because it sounds too good to be true. And in most cases, it probably is. But I was determined to make this work. I was absolutely determined to make this work. And now because he's seeing results that I'm producing, he's starting to take notice, and he wants me to help him to start a business online. And how do I actually go about it? And the same thing with Jake. Jake saw my results every week or every day that I was posting. He saw my results and he was following me for a time. And he thought, man, I've got to get into this thing. And that's how Jake joined me on my team. Very, very interesting when you think about it. We've got to get out of the mentality that says, I've got to have results now. We live in a society where we are constantly living in instant gratification, and we've got to stop that. Instant gratification is the devil, all right? Understand what I'm saying here. When you want something now, all right, may work for some things. I'm not saying everything's the devil. I'm just trying to illustrate this, all right? When you can wait and understand that it's a process, that is an intelligent person, all right? Don't want things now. So many people say, when's this going to work? Will I make money in the first week? Will I make money in the first month? Will I make money in the first 2 months? I never made money for the first 8 months, all right? How depressing is that for me? Every month I would be on the phone with Ryan saying, what the heck? Oh, my word. And Ryan is just like, dude, I can see you working. Just carry on doing this. Carry on doing this. And I never had any of the training that I'm giving you guys. I never had any of that training. Ryan was getting started at the same time I was virtually. So we were kind of learning of each other, learning on each other and working things out. But you've got the fortunate, you are fortunate enough to have the training. All right. You are fortunate to have this onlinenetbrands.com/members, where you can go there and you can learn the strategies that I used. That is 8 months of my life summed up in that course to teach you how to do it quickly. All right. So yes, it's going to be tough. And if you go into this business with the mentality of if I don't do this in 1 month, I'm out, then rather don't join. Rather don't join. All right. You've got to say to yourself, and I know this is hard and it's going to sound ridiculous, but I remember saying to myself, I'm going to do this until I die. That's what I said. I'm not even exaggerating. I said, I'm going to do this till I die. I remember saying those words, and I meant it. I'm going to do this until I die. In other words, there is no way that I'm ever going to give up, because I know that if I search for it long enough, that so many people give up at the point where they're just around the corner from success. And it's not a cliche, because the truth is 98% of people fail in this industry. 98%. When you get to 99 and 100, that's when it becomes harder. All right? And you don't want to miss out on that 2%. If you want to carry on working for somebody for the rest of your life and get rich slow, which actually doesn't even exist. You're not even getting rich. All right? If you want to get rich slow over a time where you work towards retirement, which I'm not even sure they're going to have when retirement comes, because it certainly doesn't happen in my country. So many people who have worked their entire lives, all their retirement has just gone because of the economy. So if you want to keep on doing that and working a 9-to-5 job, then go ahead. You can do this until your heart's content. I'm not stopping you. But if you want to make a difference in your life, if you want to be a person that says, you know what, I'm going to stand out from everybody else. I'm going to be extraordinary. I'm going to be the person that makes a difference. I'm going to stand out. I'm going to stand out like a sore thumb, and I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to be the person that people say, what is he up to? What is she up to? You've got to make this work for you. And the way you do it is by starting at the beginning and setting a clear intention on where you want to be. Now, I hope that this has helped you. And let me tell you something, guys. if you're not in the system, I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to say. I could barely afford getting in the system because my economy was so bad. It really, really was. And there were times where I couldn't even make payment every month. I couldn't do it. But I found a way to make it happen. I remember borrowing money just so I could make sure that I had the payment going there. All right? You've got to be committed. And there's probably another point which probably comes in this whole thing about if you're comfortable, get uncomfortable. Because every single moment in my life where I have made an uncomfortable decision is when I've grown the most. And that is the honest truth. I can't tell you how hard it was for me to get up to a certain level. And every single time, oh man, I got that inner circle. I got that top producers formula. I got that team building formula. Every single time I got those, I was like, oh man, I don't know if I could actually do this. And the problem is right now you're watching this, you're thinking, oh great, I'm going to do this. I'm going to be at that. But the moment you stop watching and you get distracted by life, that's when everything goes out the window. So you've got to make a decision now, and you've got to go ahead and do that. You've got to go and do it. That is and let me just say a sign, all right? I've got to say this, just so I'm clear. Results are not typical in this industry, all right? And I have to say that because it's a legal thing. I cannot make any claims of making thousands of dollars. There are some people in the industry that will make thousands and will go through the roof with their income. And some people will make mediocre, and some people will make nothing. But that all depends on what work you're going to do. That all depends on your work ethic. That all depends on your mindset. All right? And you've got to have that mindset changed. So I hope that it has been helpful. If you have any questions or you'd like to know anything, please put them in the bottom of the comment section so I can see. Keep on keeping on. If you have any questions, I'll be more than willing to answer them. We've got like 3 minutes left. So if you want to, okay, let's see here. Any questions you guys got? Please, guys, this is the time. If you've got any questions, you can ask me. I'm here to help you. I am really here to help you. This is the time that I can spend with you, and I want to be able to do this. So you have any questions about, blogging or whatever the case is, you can ask me, and I'll do my best to answer them. All right, I'm not a genius, but I'll tell you what I can. Let's see. So, well, you guys are certainly interactive on this chat. I don't think I've got any questions coming in. Maybe I can ask a question that maybe some of you are asking. And how much is Empower Network? All right, so Empower Network is going to cost you $25 a month. And then if you want to sell it and as a product, it's going to cost you $19 a month. All right, and of course you earn 70% commissions on all of those products and the products that they have, because I've got other products in that system. And it's like, if you're living in the States or whatever, it's 3-4 cups of coffee at Starbucks. It really isn't that much, guys. It honestly isn't. I know it was a lot for me because $250 for me, $25 to me is like $250 because it's 250 Rand, and I can honestly buy 10 cups of coffee with that, 10, 15 cups. Where can you buy a hat like that? Actually, I got this from my uncle. Got it from Texas. So, yeah. So that's why I got the hat, man. I call it my lucky hat. I started out with this. It doesn't give me luck, but I'm just saying I've had it on so often. People saying, "Hey, Dave, what do you look like without the cap?" Let's see. Okay, Cindy, you're asking in onlinenetbrands.com, the site where let me actually put it in the It's onlinenetbrands.com/members. Members, all right? So that'll be HTTP. Let me put this in. Brands.com. That's another thing, guys. You have to be yourself whenever you're on video or you're on YouTube or you're on Facebook. All right, so that's the link, guys. I'm putting it in now. Go to that, and I promise I'll never use the email. The emails that I collect in there are purely for the training. I don't send anyone my link or anything like that. There's no links inside the actual training to any sort of business opportunity. It's there for everybody to use. So when you get people in your business, you can send them straight to that website, and that website is ready and good to go. All right. Yeah, man. Absolutely true, Carl. Absolutely true. Yeah, I suppose it is a lucky yes, yeah. Let's see. Oh yeah, I wanted to talk to you guys about this. You know, a lot of you are self-conscious. You don't want to be on camera because maybe you look funny. I don't know if you noticed, but I got a lazy eye, and I got something weird happening with my teeth sometimes. Very, very self-conscious about that. And so I don't know, half the time I'm embarrassed about that. But the truth is, a lot of people, they don't notice that sort of thing. And even if they do, you know, stuff them. It's got nothing to do with you. It's got nothing to do with them. You're going to have to learn to take this. It's about being uncomfortable and getting out of your comfort zone. You have to be you. All right. I've got a spelling problem. I really do have a spelling problem. I can look at a title for 5 minutes and I still can't see the difference between guest, as in somebody's a guest, and guest, as in I guessed it didn't, you know, I guess, you know, that the difference between guest, a guest, and I guessed it, or something like that. I battle with that sort of thing. I still can't spell the word because. All right, that is a word I will always battle with, no matter what. So I've got to say the acronym: Betty eats cakes and Uncle sells eggs, every single time whenever I'm spelling it out. And it's frustrating for me because I have to constantly work at that. And a lot of you guys out there have immense typing skills and immense reading skills. And on a scale of 1 to 10, my reading is like a 3. And I have to work at that every day to get it up to like a 6 and pushing 7, which is almost 8. But if I don't read for a month, it's back to 2. You know, but some of you can read, you know, never pick up a book for a whole year and you're still on 7 or 8. You're still reading great. So I've got huge problems that I have to work at, and it's frustrating. Let me tell you, a spell checker does squat. It does squat. I've got to read and reread all the information I put out there. So let's see. Any more questions? I think we're done. So guys, I want to make this last plea to you right now. And I'm saying this out of love for you. All right. I love you guys tremendously. And I know that you listening to this can do this business. Without a doubt, you can do this. I have taught many people to make money online. Lots and lots and lots of people. All right. And the one consistent thing that every one of them has in common is that they do exactly what I've just told you to do. All right. And they produce consistency, and they want to interact, and they want to learn, and they want to get that information, and they learn from others, and they find partners in the actual group, and they talk with each other, and they exchange ideas of each other. And that is what is going to get you through this, because online marketing by yourself can be very lonely, because a lot of people outside of you don't have the same vision as you do. They don't see it. When you think about people that have accomplished massive things, things that are just incredible. When they started out, how many people believed in them? All right. And that's why you got to be consistently doing this every single day. And I still get such resistance by the fact that I'm doing my thing, even when they see I'm producing results. And it's almost like I think they're a little bit jealous that I stuck with something. And now they're going to start from the bottom. But if they just started when I asked them to, you know. So, yeah, that's about all I want to say, guys. I really have had a wonderful time with you guys. I'm so proud of every single one of you. You're doing an absolute amazing job. And if you're not in with Empower Network, if you're not in, I want to suggest that you get started today. Get started today. Rather get started today than start a year from now, because today is the day that you're going to make a change in your life. Don't put it off any longer. It's the only way that's going to help you to get to the goal that you want to. All right. So having said that, I'm going to say goodbye, and I wish everybody a great week ahead of you. I nearly said weekend. And I'll be seeing you next week, which I have a very interesting webinar coming up, and hopefully it's going to make you think. But guys, I'll chat to you next week, and I'll see you soon. Cheers. Oh, and by the way, just so you know, I haven't been active in Facebook because I'm having issues with Facebook. Apparently, I'm in Facebook jail, which I don't understand how that happened. I didn't do anything wrong, so I'm still working with it. So I can do a whole bunch of stuff on Facebook. I just can't seem to do something, so I don't know what's happening. I've sent a support, but I can't access the group. So if I'm not accessing the group, it's not because I've left or anything. I am here, as you can see, so just be aware of that. All right, guys, I will catch you soon. Cheers. Bye-bye.